Assalamu alaikum. Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. We are the Muslim Family Adventurers. So I am discussing, this is a part 3 video of a Utah Arizona series. So I'm on to my third video now, discussing the Arizona portion of our trip. So if you just want to go to the Grand Canyon and you don't want to do anything else, this is my recommendation to you to watch this video to get an idea of what to do at the Grand Canyon, how many days you need to spend there, and with young kids and things like that. So if you are coming from Las Vegas or Phoenix into the Grand Canyon, it is about a 4-hour drive. I think from Phoenix as well, it's about a 4-hour drive to get to the Grand Canyon. We took a different route. We went up to Utah and then we were coming back down to the Grand Canyon. So I'm going to be talking about it as if I'm coming from Utah. So coming from Utah to the Grand Canyon was about a 4-hour drive, but we took stops along the way. So we came from Kanab, Utah. We stopped at a slot canyon first. Then we stopped at Page, Arizona for Horseshoe Bend, and then we drove into the Grand Canyon. So from Horseshoe Bend into the Grand Canyon was about a 3-hour drive, I believe. It was about a 3-hour drive, I believe, yes. And we reached on, so I'm going to be talking about now as if we've reached the Grand Canyon and what we did there. All right, so now on to day 6. So day 6, we wanted to do something fun and exciting, see the Grand Canyon from a different lens, from a different view, and we decided to take it aerial. So we took an airplane ride, and that was very, very stunning, very, very beautiful. That was about a 40-minute airplane drive. We took it with Papillon Helicopter. Papillon Helicopter Company, I believe it was called. We took that airplane ride. You have to come out of the Grand Canyon. It's about a 15-minute drive out into the main city area, and they have a small airport there for these helicopters and these airplanes that decide to go out into the Grand Canyon and take their rides there. So we took a midday ride, and that was definitely a highlight. Before the airplane ride, we did do sunrise in the morning. We did a sunrise at Mather Point, and I believe we did a sunrise at Yavpai Point. I definitely recommend Yavpai Point for sunrise. I believe it's like a little bit more out of the canyon, and so it's a very beautiful sunrise. I definitely recommend that. So that was sunrise. So we stayed in the Grand Canyon at Yavpai Lodge. So the hotel was in the Grand Canyon, and I definitely recommend that because then you're able to do sunrise and sunset and get on shuttles a lot easier than finding parking and driving in, and there's not much around the Grand Canyon. So I recommend you just stay in the Grand Canyon, and that's what you came for. Do it for so it's worth it. It's worth it for sure. So yeah, we stayed at Yavpai Lodge, and so we would just quickly jump onto the shuttles, or we would drive out quickly and park in the morning for sunrise and sunset. And it wasn't much prep with kids. It was easy. Just get up, everyone. We're gonna go see the sunrise. We'll sleep afterwards. So it wasn't much prep. So it was easy to get them into the car and at the sunrise and sunset spots. All right, so back to what I was talking about, airplane ride. All right, so yeah, so we took a midday airplane ride, and it was about a 40-minute drive. We went with Papillon Helicopter, and definitely I recommend, it was a highlight of our trip to fly out and over the Grand Canyon and just see its beauty from a different perspective. Walking through it is one thing, but flying over it is just stunning to see how huge and how many layers of rock formation there are, and white and gray, and there's dark red and light red and orange, and that's all mixed in. And to see the Colorado River, there was a portion that the little Colorado River is meeting the large Colorado River itself, and that water is light blue and this is dark green. I mean, we wouldn't have been able to hike to get to these spots to begin with, and to see it from aerial view, it was just stunning. And we heard documentaries that this is where the Navajo Nation believes that life originated from. And it's good to see other people's perspectives and to see that this, I mean, something is happening there for sure, because the water isn't mixing. It's light blue of water from the Little Colorado River, dark green from there. And it's they're not mixing. And another research project for the kids. Why isn't it mixing? Is it fresh water and salty water? What's happening? I mean, we hear about these things in the Quran that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't allow the fresh water and the salty water to mix, and yet they're still touching each other, but they don't mix into each other. Something's happening at the Grand Canyon also, which I'm going to make these guys research and figure out what it is exactly. So yeah, the Little Colorado River and the large Colorado River and the water is totally different colors, and they're not mixing with each other. So subhanAllah, I thought that was amazing, and it was just amazing to see it with your own eyes. And yeah, so we took it's a nice 40-minute ride. It's a little bumpy, so be prepared for that. Don't eat before you go on. And so yeah, so what else? So yeah, that was the airplane ride. After we came back from the airplane ride, we went back into the Grand Canyon, and we decided to do some of the visitor centers there. Again, visitor center, I'm just a big proponent of these books. So they handed out their books for the kids, got some lunch, used the bathroom, all that kind of good stuff, and just spent the rest of the day in the Grand Canyon. Around sunset time, we decided to take the orange shuttle from the village area where there's other hotels. So there's other hotels in an area called the Village. We decided to take the orange shuttle and went up to, I believe it was called Hopi Point. So yeah, so that was, and just watch the sunset from there. So that was just stunning, just to be in nature and to watch the sunrise in the morning and then the sunset in the evening. It was stunning. It almost felt spiritual, and I've told a lot of my friends this too. It feels spiritual to be amongst Allah's beauty and Allah's nature, and to realize that we live in such a technology heavy world, and we're constantly addicted to our phones, and to be in nature, it's just, I think it's refreshing, and it's definitely increases your iman. It increases your kids' iman. It teaches, you have to constantly, I have to constantly pull my kids into nature and teach them that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's mercy is just, and his beauty and his magnificence, his power, it's just so amazing. And the only way we'll feel it is if we connect with nature. I mean, we're made of clay, we're made of dirt, we're made of mud, and if we're not connecting with what we're made of, I feel like we'll kind of lose our way. So it's a constant pullback to go into nature and to go into Allah's beauty and to connect. So yeah, that was our last day at the Grand Canyon. Actually, sorry, I apologize. We had one more day the next day, and we took it easy this day. This was the day we just did some hikes and just some more sightseeing, some more pictures. We went into the Hopi house that was in the village at the Grand Canyon, and yeah, we took it easy on our last day. And this again was our driving heavy day to go back towards the airport for our night flight. So we checked out of the Grand Canyon. It was about a 4-hour drive to go back into Las Vegas, and that's where our flight was. And so on the way, we stopped at Hoover Dam. So that was also something, very exciting. My husband was explaining to the kids how the dam works and how it conducts electricity and how the water. So it was just an educational spot. I definitely recommend stop there, stretch your legs, take some pictures at the Hoover Dam, kind of show the kids, how it's just electric grids everywhere. So it's a good stop for you guys along the way. And that is about 1 hour before you get into Las Vegas. So yeah, that was our trip. I highly recommend that you definitely at least once in your life go see this wonder of the world, the Grand Canyon. But while you're at the Grand Canyon, I would recommend Utah. I mean, Utah has a lot to offer, a lot of national parks there to offer, and I highly recommend it. In upcoming videos, I'll talk about budget and things like that, so that you guys have an idea of travel can be done if you make it a priority, and if you look for deals. And so I will help you, guide you guys along the way for how I look for deals and how I make these itineraries, and I hope you enjoy our channel. So please subscribe to our channel, and for more content like this and more trip ideas. We plan to travel our whole life, inshallah. So I plan to take my kids all over the world. That's my plan. I want to take them all over the world. I'm going to throw it out there. I want my kids to travel the whole entire world. And inshallah, give them that childhood, that and that life that anything can be done. The world is huge. The world is beautiful. There's so many people in the world, and so many different kinds of people in the world. And I want them to see it all. I want them to feel it all. I want them to see it all. I want them to live in it, and just realize that we are part of Allah's big Allah's big plan, that there's people of different skin colors, people of different languages, people of different cultures, and we're all supposed to live together on this planet and coexist and be happy. So yeah, that is my heartfelt feelings, and I'm just throwing it out into the world. And I hope, please follow this channel if you also believe in travel and how it brings joy to your life. So please subscribe, and please keep following for more content. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum, everyone.